I created this vision board in 2019. When I was an unhappy accountant in Hong Kong, never heard about music therapy. Fast forward to 5 years later, I'm now living my dream life, having a dream career, and I'm my best version of myself. Is that manifestation? I don't think so. I do not just create a vision board and then just fantasize and pray. I worked hard for this. A different version of yourself requires a different set of skills, mindset, habits, and social circles. This is what this video is about. My 5-step process to elevate yourself, to create your dream life, and become a different version of yourself. Simple but not easy. Let's get started. Hello and thank you for stopping by. My name is Venus and I'm an accountant turned music therapist currently based in Sydney. On this channel, I mainly talk about personal development stuff, on health, on habit building, based on the experiments I conduct on myself, and occasionally some music therapy, the research and insights. Hopefully that will inspire you to improve your well-being in some way. Ever since I decided to ditch accounting 4.5 years ago, I've been on this journey to figure out how to improve myself daily. And that applies to health, skill set building, maintaining relationships, and basically just navigating life as an adult. One of the most important lessons I learned over the years is really just to respect yourself as a human being. That means not to label myself as a certain type or tying my self-worth to my job title. This is the first step. Stop labeling yourself. Pay attention to the language you use. Do you say, I feel anxious, I help my company manage tax and accounts, instead of I'm an anxious person or I'm an accountant, I'm an introvert? It's a subtle difference between I feel versus I am. You are not anything. You just experience and do things in this world. You are you. This is something I see a lot on my clients and also on social media as a trend. People like to create causation between their behaviors and their diagnosis. This can be controversial, but hear me out. As we learn more about the brain and then pair with social media, I think it's so easy to fall into the trap of self-diagnosis. We see a checklist of symptoms on social media, and then at that time we might be very stressed, and then we can't sit still and focus, and then we think we have ADHD. Beware of the difference between self and clinical diagnosis. Our language and the way we talk to ourselves can make or break us. Use it wisely. This Psych Hacks podcast episode talks about what really is going on in the mental disorder diagnosis these days, and the danger of definitions based on self-reported symptoms. I highly recommend you all to listen to that. My point being, labeling sometimes can disempower us. Just like when we say things like, I am sad, I am bad at focusing on tasks, etc. Your brain starts to look for evidence that support that belief. I'm not saying that mental disorder or other neurological conditions are not real. Just be careful about how you interpret your behaviors in a situation before labeling yourself. I joke with the parents of my clients sometimes that back in the days when we couldn't focus in class, when we fell behind, all we were told was that we were dumb and we need to play catch up. We would just try our best to not fall behind. Nowadays, it's almost like everyone got some kind of diagnosis, and they use it as a shield to not push hard when they are still growing and developing. Anyway, I work with clients with different diagnoses all the time, and I have a lot of empathy for them. But this overall diagnosis trend really is not great. I think we can all use some tough love. So the first step is to stop self-diagnosing. Be aware of how you talk to yourself. Replace can't with yet. From there, you stop playing small, you stop being the victim, and then it's all about reinventing your identity. After you get rid of who you think you are, there is still a lot of unlearning to do. What do you want in this life? You think you want to climb the corporate ladder, get married by 30, and then have a house in 5 years? Think again. Is that what you really want? We might be brainwashed by the society and environment to a point that we don't know ourselves and we don't recognize our inner voice anymore. And here is an excellent article on knowing what you want to want. Link in description box. I personally went through a lot of journaling and therapy to gain this mental clarity. I did not just become a music therapist overnight. There was a lot of reflection, a lot of planning, preparation, and self-doubt. And in the process, I figure out what I really want. To live a life with minimum regrets and to maximize my potential. I have a version of my future self in mind. It's more than the vision board I created in 2019. I knew the habits, the social circle, the mindset that future self would have. I even knew how I want to dress and how I want to show up to the world. When you have such details and clear vision in mind, the behaviors will follow. You will start to change your current ways of being and doing to match that version of yourself. For example, I always envisioned myself to be a walking gym. That means I have the habit of working out and eating clean, and I build calisthenics skills in order to do those movements. And then I will be a walking gym. I don't need any equipment, I can just use my body weight. When you establish new identity, new behaviors will follow. This is not labeling, let me be clear. It's more like new identity as a concept, and you embrace everything that comes along with it. Instead of analyzing your behaviors to a checklist of symptoms, you flip the script. The identity comes first, followed by actions to match the identity. Beliefs are useful if they encourage desirable quantifiable actions. Fourth step, my TTT method. Now we enter a fun stage of experimenting whether the vision is what we truly want. This is the fun part of life. Over the years, I've been using this TTT method I created and branded for myself to achieve different levels of success. So TTT stands for test, track, and tweak. Basically, you come up with a hypothesis, you test that with actions, you track your progress, and then you tweak the actions if necessary. You rinse and repeat every 3 months, and you can be completely unrecognizable in a year. Watch this video here for more details. I also have a complete Notion package to set goals, to track progress, and make sure that we invest time, energy, and attention into the right things. Link in description box. And the last step is to embrace the journey consistently. Work on yourself daily. It is what you do every day that matters. Do something. Do it today and move closer to your goal. As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And this is why my TTT methods help me achieve my goals by setting up the habits necessary to get to the goals. From getting my first pull-up, getting my first client, or finding new social circle. You own the responsibility to work on your goals daily. There are many ways to get there, but you need to put in the work. I think milestones are overrated sometimes. Fulfillment actually comes from knowing that you're putting in the work daily in order to get to a goal that you actually care about. As I always say, enjoy the journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out my detailed TTT method here in order to make the most of your goal setting process. I'll see you in this video here.